These LED light strips are multicolored, and the remote comes with a battery. So let's check out the battery. Here's the battery. So the remote comes with one battery, and there's 2 strips. And let me give you a couple of tips as I'm applying these. So let me go figure out where I'm going to put these at, and I'll give you a couple of tips on how to apply these. See you in a bit. See how dirty that is? Always clean the area really, really good. Look at how dirty that baseboard is. So before I apply this, I'm going to clean it better. I'm just showing you. This is just kind of like a little demonstration, but I'll clean it with a wet towel and then also a dry one. That's how I do it. I go over it with a wet one really good, and then I go over it with the dry. Every part that I'm going to be sticking it to. A little tip, lay it out as you want it. Leave yourself a lot of slack. If you want to, take everything out of the spool. I do that oftentimes. If it's a smaller spool, I'll just take it all out, and then I'll lay it out flat, because it'll start twisting and spinning around, and it's easier to manage that way. Also, as whenever you're sticking it on, you know, if you go a good little run, put a piece of tape right there, a little piece of clear tape, and then you're feeling better as it's got more fastened right there. And then as you're going, if something happens and it you know, this part pulls up, it's not going to pull everything up that's behind you that you already did. It helps out a lot. And yeah, just take your time. Also, when you first pull this off, now see, this one has a decent size piece to grab, okay? But this first part, all the way through too, but mainly the first part is the part where you can actually pull the whole thing off. You can pull the light strip apart too. You know, this one right here I have a big piece to grab and pull, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it's just right there on the edge, and it's cut right there on the edge, and then you have to use your fingernail and kind of grab it. Well, you can actually grab the little wires or whatever they are in there. I've done that before. And so just take your time, make sure you get that right. And as you're going, you know, you could be pulling it off, and all of a sudden it's a little sliver stays there. Well, just stop and make sure you get it right, because if you keep going, well, I'll get that later, you know. It won't. It can give you problems. So just make sure you just stop, get it all off, because you know, you'll be applying it pretty quickly, right? You're not going to be pulling off too much. You're not going to pull off 10 feet and then go back and apply 10 feet, maybe a couple of feet or a few feet. So just take your time. If someone can help you, it helps out a lot more. If you got to do it yourself, just make sure that you just take your time and make sure this is all clean. And yeah, that's about it. Make sure you know where you're putting everything. Because if you just start, I'm going to start right here, but that's all you know is you're going to start right here, and then you either get to where you got to go up a wall, you got to go around a corner, you didn't figure out what you were going to do, you know. So you can get that, you know, you can get to where, which way do I go? Just figure out kind of where you want to go first, and then that way when you get to a corner, if you want to go up it, if you want to keep going around, you know, you already know. And then you already have that area cleaned. So I hope that this helps.